buckets.
There you go. Let's swing it. Hey, get out.
That's bottoms.
Mark three. Come on, man, let's get it.
Oh, that's green.
That's all you. Hey, yo, right here. Big coming. Mark the screen. Roll.
Thank you. Cookies. He's out there to do one thing. Put points on the board. That's going in.
We are going to get that W to celebrate.
LaMelo Ball.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to 2K Sports and another exciting edition of NBA basketball. With Doris Berg, Greg Anthony, and Hall of Famer David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. And our special guest at the broadcast table for this one, the celebrated Shams Charania. Hey, Shams, thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Kevin, thanks so much. Always fun to hang out with you and all your crew and talk basketball.
All right, I've told Doris and Greg and David, just buckle up because we are going to be on a great ride with you. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking coming up for the Charlotte Hornets. On Wednesday, they'll be taking on Klay Thompson and the Toronto Raptors. And then on Friday, they'll be matching up with Chris Paul and the Boston Celtics.
And looking at the Minnesota matchup, it's going to be their 7th outing on the year. You feel the team will continue to round into form.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, they've got G, Tucker out there with King. Then it's Tiny, and it's Moore in at the 3 slot. And for Charlotte, the guard spots filled in by Ball and Miller. Norman Powell is out there with Portis, and it's Bassey in at center. So the Hornets win the tip. Now Ball. Inside, here's Powell. The layup off target. And here's Miami. Hey, Shams, the Heat seem to always be in that area of making a big move, thinking about a big move, certainly seeing what could be out there. What's your sense? Are they trying to shake up their core right now?
The Heat always feel like they are close to competing and really trying to get to the cusp of winning a championship. The question is, can they find another star player to bring to this group? Are they willing to move the assets? And do they have the complementary pieces to go get that star player? But the Heat, we've seen it over the last 4 or 5 years. They're a team that has one thing in mind, and that's winning a championship.
And they can be scary when they get to the playoffs.
Playing the regular season is one thing for this Heat group. They know when the lights are shining the brightest, they can turn it up another level in the playoffs. That's what Erik Spoelstra brings.
Count that one.
With the size he brings to the guard position, you love to see LaMelo assert himself down low.
Pass to G. Jennings with the ball. Moore outside. Here's the doctor. Just 5 on the clock. Jennings, a screen on Ball. Shots good by the doctor. Hey, Shams, it seems like with these younger teams coming, we may be witnessing a transfer of power in the NBA. What do you think?
It's really due to the parity that we're seeing in the league, and we haven't seen this much parity in a really long time. It's wide open for teams in both conferences, in the East and West, to claim that top perch. We have to give the league a lot of credit. There's tons of parity.
Which I think is leading to expansion talk, correct? We've got so much talent right now, we can kind of let it ooze out a little bit to some other areas.
Certainly expansion, couple more teams in the league, but the league really loves where they're at now. And any given year, anyone can win.
Yeah, the defender all over it.
The Heat shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. All right, Shams, I know you can't reveal all your secrets, but how do you develop relationships with your sources, the players, the agents, the GMs, the scouts all over the NBA?
It comes year after year. This has been something I've been doing for the better course of the last 15 years. So for me, it's about relationships, it's about daily communication, and making sure that I keep the trust, I keep the faith, and I keep a level of respect with everyone that I come across. Relationships are the name of the game, especially in the NBA.
Well, that's what I've heard about you. They trust you. So if they're going to confide, they know they can trust you. I would think that would be maybe the core of how you operate.
Trust and faith, and that develops early, not taking shortcuts. I'm very much for the long game.
Here's Moore, following the bucket by the Hornets. Outside Jennings. Pass to G. Miami needs to get a shot off. Powell with the steal. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Miller against Moore.
2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes.
And he uses the glass on the layup. Miller's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And this is what you like about Miller. He has great range from three, but he can also make tough shots in traffic.
Shams, with as often as you've interacted with front offices all over the NBA, have you noticed any changes with how franchises operate with both the players and the media and that relationship and where it may be headed?
Everything has to be more specialized now in the organizations, but you're seeing true partnerships develop with teams and their players, especially their top players. Teams have to pay more attention now to data, to metrics than ever before. And the relationship between your top players in the organization, that is very, very important. And the teams that do a good job of managing relationships, of managing expectations, that is clearly what separates the elite teams with the bottom teams. And certainly players in today's generation are very, very polished when it comes to the media.
Oh, you framed that so well. Catching up on the changes with Miami. The Kitties checked in for Tiny. Little General comes in for G. And Thunder subbed in for the Doctor. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Moore against Powell. Hibbert the pass to Moore. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Man, he sure can get off the floor.
He one of the best in the business, absolutely. Pass to Powell. Back to Pippen. Pocket 6. Charlotte needs to get a shot up. Here's LaRavia. Can't tie it up as that one misses. The Heat leading by 3. And Moore kicks to Birch. Pass to Tucker. Back to Birch. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And boy, did he ever sell the pump fake. Worked to absolute perfection.
Come get it, come get it.
19 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Moore against Powell. Pippen outside. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Here's Moore. For the 3. And the last second attempt does not go in for him. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Heat lead by 2. We'll be back shortly live from Spectrum Center. Some good action already in this one, but a fairly even matchup after the first quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game we've been seeing from the Heat, guys.
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Boy, it's been a really pretty thing to watch, executing their game plan to perfection.
You communicate so much with NBA GMs. You talk with owners. You talk with personnel people. Knowing what they do, what is an overlooked part of how they operate their day-to-day jobs with these NBA teams?
A few things for me, Kevin. It is the relationships with agents, with other teams. Are they trusted? Do they have the trust of others? That is of importance, certainly. And how well connected are they within the organization? How are they building their own front offices in their own buildings? But their thirst for information, their ability to use information to strategize, that is something that occurs every single day. Because if you know something is happening with a specific team, that could shape how you want to strategize your team moving forward.
On the court for Miami here in the second. They've got King. Little General out there with the kid. Then there's the prodigy. And it's Gordon in at the point guard position. That one is off. Well, we can all agree nothing better than the atmosphere of an NBA game. So, Shams, I know it's hard to pick one, but is there a best crowd, a best atmosphere in the NBA that you've come across that you really appreciate?
The Warriors fans, I feel, even at their peak, they bring a different level of aura, of enthusiasm. Kevin, you've been to more arenas than I have in more celebrated times as well at different points. What's your favorite, what's your best NBA arena atmosphere?
When that New York crowd is popping, that arena is second to none, man. It is sizzling. Like you, I love knowledgeable fans, right? They know the calls, they know the officials, they know the strategies, they know what a player can and cannot do. That, to me, is the best part about going in some of these arenas and feeling that the players, have made it to a point where the fans know exactly what they can and cannot do. Knowledgeable fans.
I'll take your word for it, but that just means I have to get out to a Knicks game ASAP.
Ball with a wide-open look, and they come right back with their own three-pointer. Ball's got 7. And in last year's playoff, Shams, we did see a lot of players injured and unable to play. What are some of the solutions that may be being talked about that you hear about?
People certainly ask if this is a result of the 65-game rule. Is it more physical play? Is it the consequences of the regular season? The league is going to take a wait-and-see approach to determine if this is an issue they have to fix. But they do love the results of what this has brought as far as player availability moving forward.
Yeah, they do seem sold on that 65 number, don't they?
100%. And at the end of the day, some of these injuries are flukish. There's a lot of, obviously, lower body injuries, and you can't measure that. I think the league is going to want to see more data over the next 5 to 10 years to really determine, does this rule impact the game and impact injuries?
Miami's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. To the middle. Here's Cruz. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. Pippen finds Ball. And you look at the way the league is moving now, Shams, are there less big trades than when you started or more?
Perhaps a little bit less, but listen, the league is trying to keep parity in this league and allow teams to be able to keep their homegrown stars. There's always going to be plenty of interest, and that level of interest, not only from players from competing teams, but fans' interest, it's never been higher.
And there's never any hesitancy, right? If a team feels they can get better, for whatever reason, and however they do it, I don't think there's any hesitancy to pulling the trigger.
Particularly when you're on the cusp of potentially winning a championship or competing, whether it's competing for the playoffs, competing for a title, if you can make one move that takes you from point A to point B, teams and general managers want to do it.
Well said. Now, here's Ball. He has 7. Shoots over King. Ball with the bucket. Ball's got the lead up to 1 now for the Hornets.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
King, left side. Pass to Tucker. 5 on the clock. Hibbert kicks it to Tucker. And it's blocked. And for those of you just joining us in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Ball, the pass to Filipowski. Howard down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
I tell you, the vision is simply special. LaMelo Ball toys with the defense, creates easy opportunities for his teammates.
Now here's King, coming in off a 21-point game, his last outing. Pass to Hibbert. Here's the eraser. Back to Hibbert. Cruz, the pass to Hibbert. And again, it's the Heat missing. Charlotte leading by 3. Now Ball. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Pippen down low. Can't get it to fall, and he's missed the second after making his first. And Shams, what an absolute delight it has been having you courtside with all of us tonight. Thank you so much for taking time to join us. It has been a true pleasure.
Thanks so much for the invite. I can't wait to do it again sometime. I'm honored. I'm privileged.
Oh, we are going to hold you to that. Thank you again. Always so much fun to have Shams join us. No one with a better pulse on the NBA.
Man, Shams is always the first guy to know about the big moves around the NBA. Love hearing what he has to say.
And a new group in for the Heat. Tiny, he's checked in for the kid. G comes in for the little general. Morris checked in for the prodigy. And the doctor subbed in for the eraser. .56 seconds left to play here in the half. Portis kicks to Pippen. Driving the lane, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
And Dwayne Wade is the first Heat player to be honored with a statue. And Greg, that's pretty significant for a very successful franchise.
And Kevin, well-deserved, right? D-Wade, the best player in franchise history. He helped bring 3 championships to the city, plus he's already got a street named after him.
That free throw good from Pippen. You know, Greg, one thing you notice, we were just talking about this with the Hornets in recent years, a lot of changing lineups.
And you expect that with the team, with where they're at. They're looking for any advantage game to game and trying to build that identity as a franchise.
And both free throws good for Pippen.
And they're really getting more points at the free throw line here in the second quarter.
Pass to G. Good ball movement here by Miami. Knocked loose. And that's out of bounds. Miami will retain possession. And now let's take a look again at that incredible rejection.
And that is a huge block. Given how close this game is, a stop like that was right on point.
.30 seconds left in the first half. 6 on the shot clock. Moore dishes to Jennings. King outside. Takes a 3.
Boy, a really tough quarter for this guy. Just struggling to make shots right now.
Pippen feeling it out a bit. To the inside. It's stolen by G. Here's Moore. No good on the last second attempt there. So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Hornets ahead, up by 3. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, what needs to change going ahead in the second half?
It starts with getting some stops. You got to play off some misses.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
Thanks for joining us. The story through the first half, the Miami Heat in a game so far that's been close.
At the defensive end, I'm not seeing disruption. I don't mean just forced turnovers. I mean taking the offense out of the rhythm.
Yeah, I mean when your opponent is shooting over 50%, a lot else has to go right. And now an opportunity to... And that about wraps up.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Nice game, great performance so far by LaMelo Ball.
And how about the amount he's contributing in the scoring column through 2 quarters? He has been terrific.
And one would expect that the defense made some adjustments at halftime, but he has the ability to answer right back.
The guard spots filled in by Ball and Miller. Portis is out there with Powell, and it's Bassey in at the 5 down low. So that's the Hornets 5. Greg, you know this. Good coaches give their players confidence. But what's the balance there between affirmation and accountability?
Well, when you believe in a player, that also comes with expectations. So a coach has to boost them up and also demand that they deliver.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, the new leadership in Charlotte has made it clear that it's not going in for quick fixes. The goal is sustained success, building with youth and development. Call it roster flexibility or a blank slate. But with some promising young players and more health, there's nowhere to go but up. Kevin?
Health is huge. That's the hope. Hey, David, thank you. Portis sets the pick for Ball. Pass to Miller. Back to Ball. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. Ball's got 11 points.
Well, the quickness helps LaMelo Ball out inside right there. Just allows him to get the quick drop on the defense.
And timeout is called by Eric Spoelstra. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. And now let's have a look at the teams that were last year's best from the free throw line. The Heat in 5th.
Collectively, I mean, they had an amazing year at the free throw line. Sometimes free throw shooting can be contagious, and it seemed like everyone on their team had the hot hand.
The Heat have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. King, the pass to the doctor. There's the pick. He takes it in. And Doris, a new era began in Charlotte after Michael Jordan's departure as owner in 2023.
And Kevin, with that ownership change, there's always a transition period. And it may take a while for the Hornets to find success, but there are some reasons for optimism, and you begin with the young point guard.
First one falls for him. And Eric Spoelstra, the head coach of the Miami Heat, receiving a record 8-year, $120 million extension. Greg, that's some big dough.
Is it ever? And remains coaching for the only NBA franchise he's ever worked for. Already one of the most tenured head coaches in the association, and that figures to continue for a while.
Both good from the line that time. And so it's Ball with it. He brings it up for the Charlotte Hornets. They trail by 1. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. That'll be the second of 4 games at home for them. Moore against Powell. Pass to the doctor. And G now atop the key. Shot clock at 5. From down in the low post, it goes. G's got his first bucket of the night.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Coming off a big game, his confidence couldn't be higher, and coach knows it.
Well, the best players to me deliver night after night after night. So as long as he's hot, keep riding it.
And here are the Heat now, following LaMelo Ball's 3. Here's G, defended by Portis. shoots from the baseline as he pulls it in. Charlotte's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. To the paint. And Ball slams it in.
Now you love the tenacity right there of LaMelo Ball. Play through the contact, get the and one opportunity.
One thing about LaMelo Ball, he can really take over at times, Greg, when he's healthy and playing well.
And a lot of that is just his feel for the game. He processes quickly and then has the talent to execute. It's pretty hard to stop him when he's in the flow.
Filipowski, he's checked in for Portis. And then for Miami, the kid, he's checked in for G. The prodigy comes in for the doctor. The Erasers subbed in for King. That's good from Ball. Hey, DB, we don't see a lot of them, but from what you have seen and heard, what can the Charlotte Hornets do better to improve their overall game?
Well, I think one of the things you have to look at is what are they doing successfully on the offensive end and what are their weaknesses? One of the weaknesses is drawing fouls and getting opportunities at the free throw line. To me, Kev, the best teams do a good job of getting easy points, whether in transition or at the charity stripe.
Now, here's Ball. He's got 17. Pass to Filipowski. And here's Miller outside. Miami grabs the miss. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Jennings, a screen on Ball. Here's Moore. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Moore's got 8 points. Charlotte in the lead. Pass to Filipowski. Back to Ball. 46 seconds left in the third quarter. The shot, no good. For Miami, they've gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Jennings, a screen on Ball. Down low. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jennings. And some changes here for the Heat. McLaughlin's checked in for the kid. Little General comes in for Tiny. And Junior subbed in for Moore. .23 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Powell with it. He has yet to score. Here's the screen. Drills the three-pointer.
Well, the versatility he possesses makes him a very tough cover, guys.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Hornets lead by 4. And we're coming right back. Be sure to stay with us as we get started for the fourth quarter. Head coach Eric Spoelstra mic'd up along.
Trust each other. Let's get that ball moving. Ball moving. No holds. No holds. Right?
Well, moving the ball is so important to these coaches.
I mean, it helps make the offense run smoothly, Kevin. When you move the ball, more scoring opportunities open up.
We've reached the fourth quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. On the court for the Heat, they've got the prodigy. The eraser is out there with Gordon, and then it's Little General, and it's the kid in at the 5 spot. Outside, Ball. Hayes with the screen for Ball. Sinks the three-pointer. Ball's got the lead up to 5 now for the Hornets.
Challenging this D with the 3-ball. That's his second from distance this half, and he also hit one in the first half, too.
Pass to Tucker. Trying his luck from deep. The Hornets pull it in. Hayes has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Nice move. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
First team foul.
LaMelo Ball came in like a storm into this NBA, Doris, but hasn't been able to stay healthy since.
It's so true, Kevin, and that's unfortunate because the skill is apparent every time he plays. He's a game changer with his size and his playmaking. The NBA is better off because of the flair and the style he brings when he is healthy. One thing that impresses you about LaMelo, the way he reads defenses and makes the game easier for everyone around him.
Miller's checked in for the Hornets. And Miami also making a switch. Birch is checked in. Now, here's Birch. Here's Cruz. Back to Birch. Good ball movement here by Miami. And Tucker kicks to Hibbert. Pass to the kid. And Pippen pulls it down. Hornets leading by 6. Out to the right wing. Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. Back to Ball. It falls for basket number 9 from the field. He's taken 14 shots to get there.
How about these big shots for him in the 4th? He has been locked and loaded offensively.
And we'll have a timeout called by Eric Spoelstra. Wants to make sure everybody's coordinated and intent. And some changes here for the Hornets. Charles Massey, he's checked in for Hayes. Portis comes in for Filipowski. And it's Powell in for Pippen. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. What you got for us, D.A.?
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address the team. Now, he talked about keeping confidence. He said, this game is close, but we know we're the better team. Now it's time to go out there and prove it. See if they can come back in this one, guys.
Thank you, David.
And guys, all about hard work from this point on. They've worked hard to create that high-quality shot and then able to knock it down.
Well, you know how problematic LaMelo is for defenders. Always so willing to draw some contact.
At the line for 2, LaMelo Ball.
That's good from Ball.
LaMelo, one of those guys at the top of the list in terms of excitement. This guy is capable of the spectacular.
Ball hits them both.
And after attempting no free throws in the first half, now he's putting the defense back on its heels.
The doctor passes to G. It's not going to go for him. Great D that time from Portis. To the middle. Here's Bassett. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
What I like here, even with the big lead, they continue to execute their offense.
And that, to me, is a sign of excellent coaching. There's an attention to detail. There is valuing of every possession.
Here's G. Good on the bucket.
And that tells the tale here today, guys. Throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and finish.
Outside, Ball. Pass to Powell. Miller outside. Now, here's Ball. Goes up from the top of the key. Rebounded by Moore. Moore's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's the doctor. There's a minute 34 left in the game. And the officials calling for a 3-second violation.
And that is just a deflating error on his part.
I think it kills your energy, and it certainly kills your momentum.
And so it's Charles Lee calling timeout. He knows every possession is critical now. Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Here's Bassey. He's guarded by Jennings, and he makes good on the layup. Bassey's got the lead up to 10 now for the Hornets. The Heat have gone 3 of 6 in the field so far in the fourth quarter. Here's G. Drops it in from 11 feet. G's got 4 points this quarter. And here's Miller. Here's Ball. Bassey, the pass to Pop. And here is Ball. 6 to shoot. G with the rebound. The Heat have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. King, the pass to Jennings. Basket counts. There's 42 seconds left to play in the final quarter, and he commits the intentional foul.
Third team foul.
This may be their most important possession.
No doubt about it. As long as they don't make any major mistakes, this one's in the bag.
And it's Miami's ball. Moore dishes to G. Back to Moore. Some nice ball movement here by the Heat. Count it! And now they trail by just 4.
Pretty dime there, the kind of ball movement coaches love to see.
And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
First one drops, and that puts them up by 5. So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Well, you want to continue to build the lead, so a very productive trip to the line right there.
Now a timeout called by Miami. They're trailing by 6. And what's their best move at this point?
They need a quick basket here.
Well, preferably a 3, right? If there's a clean look, take it.
Up top, King, covered by Miller. From deep, Moore. It's rebounded by Portis, so they foul intentionally.
Second personal foul, 5th team foul. At the line for your Hornets, Bobby Portis. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 7-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's an 8-point game. Now a timeout called by Miami. They trail by 8. Guys, what's your take?
And a little late to implement a plan B. This game is a wrap.
Well, I think he might just want to remind these guys, hey, let's finish the game the right way.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
First personal foul. Team is in the penalty. At the line for 2, Norman Powell.
Good on the first, and that will put them up by 9. And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there.
And that should be enough to get the job done, even though he didn't get all of it.
So it's the Hornets picking up the win. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. But first, let's reveal our player of the game, LaMelo Ball.
Hi, everybody. Time to get into it. NBA action on 2K. And a look now at the Detroit Pistons' upcoming schedule. On Wednesday, they'll be playing against Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. And then on Friday, they'll face off against Kyle Lowry and the New York Knicks.
And that game against Brooklyn, that one's going to be their 7th game of the season, almost a full 10th of the season play. After that one.
A look at the Pistons starting group. We've got Cade Cunningham, Miles Turner out there with Jared Vanderbilt. Then it's Mikal Bridges, and it's Dunn in at the 3, the small forward. And for Miami, they've got Junior, and it's G in at the power forward.
And what a read there from Cunningham, showing he has vision and timing with his passes.
Cade Cunningham has faced his share of challenges in his career, Coach.
Yeah, Brian, the injuries, the discouraging losses, but he's remained steadfast through it all. He's a committed and mentally tough player.
Believes in his game and now wants a team around him that can fulfill that need. Miami shooting their first free throws of the night right here. That one misses. Well, Coach, we're just a couple of games in, and you know how people like me like to overreact. How about predicting the fate of two teams this early in the schedule?
Well, Brian, here's my prediction. Anyone trying to make predictions on how these teams will end up this early in the year will probably be wrong.
Well, that's never stopped me before. And he sinks the second. And though they've had a lot of high draft picks, Grant, the Pistons are still fitting everything together.
Yeah, and we've seen plenty of rebuilding teams go through struggles, and then suddenly everything clicks. You have to have experience mixed in with the youth.
Well, the physicality of the NBA takes some getting used to, but Cunningham is able to make those tough finishes.
Outside, Williams. Pass to G. Got a piece of it, and it's out of bounds to the Heat as Miami retains possession. Gordon, the pass to Williams. 4 on the clock. The Heat need to get one up in a hurry. Three-pointer.
And a nice contest there by Cunningham, using his size and reach to great effect.
Pass to Vanderbilt. And here's Bridges. Second chance effort, and he lays it up and in.
The defense getting out-hustled on the putback. Can't let that happen.
And I can tell you from experience, these are the types of things that drive coaches crazy.
Here's G. Gordon outside. And the layup falls.
Well, credit the screen there, springing him loose for the finish.
For Detroit, they've gone 3 of 4. Off to a nice start. Vanderbilt, a pass to Cunningham. Out to the wing. Back to Vanderbilt. Pass to Bridges. Another shot. And it's good as he snugs it right through the net. Bridges has gotten his second bucket.
Yeah, picking his spots. Bridges does a great job of letting the game come to him.
And so it's Eric Spoelstra with the timeout here. Coach wants to speak to his guys, maybe alter some of the game plan. All right, now that we have a break, let's take a look at which teams capitalized from the line last season. 5th, the Heat.
Well, as a coach, it's a relief knowing free throws are almost automatic for your guys.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Gordon, the pass to the kid. Junior outside. Pass to Gordon. Rebound Detroit. Coming into this, having notched a win against Boston in their last game.
And you know, some games you're plagued by false starts and slow momentum. You could tell they were getting frustrated.
Well, it wasn't a pretty game as far as shooting goes, but ugly wins count just the same.
And Gordon has got the ball here for the Heat. 7-point differential. And make no mistake, Cade Cunningham is the engine of this team, Grant.
Man, his vision and playmaking are crucial to the offense. Coach trusts him to make the right reads and set up his teammates. He has cut down on mistakes and is rounding into an elite point guard.
Shot clock at 3. Beyond the arc. Good. And the assist goes to Junior. Gordon's got 5.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
Pass to Turner. Bridges outside. Over Junior. Bridges misses.
Well, the analytics don't like it, but if the defense is giving it up, I like that shot selection despite the miss.
Here's G. The jumper from the wing off target.
Hey, give him credit. He tried for the fadeaway over the taller defender. Good move, bad result.
Dunn, the pass to Vanderbilt. Hits the trifecta. 5 points in the game.
Their offense looking like a well-oiled machine.
Now 8 seconds separating the two clocks. Here's G. Back to Gordon. And he was camped in the lane there. He gets the 3-second call. Both teams will make substitutions. The Pistons lead by 7. Van Vliet outside. And so the first quarter is in the books. Detroit on top, up 7. And the second quarter is on its way when we return. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we played through 1 quarter of action so far. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Well, they're in a great flow. The ball's moving. All those assisted buckets means the offense is running well.
Man, they're just having their way, bullying the other team in the painted area, imposing their will down there whenever they want.
Setting the floor for the Pistons. Najee Marshall is out there with Kelly Olynyk. Then it's Fred Van Vliet. Then it's Williams. And it's Cunningham in at the shooting guard position. Misses in close. Heat trail by 7. Well, Coach, how about the Erik Spoelstra story? Started as a video coordinator with the Heat back in '95. You were an assistant in Miami back then.
Yeah, look, Brian, even then, Erik is one of the rare guys that all of us on the staff knew right from the beginning that he had all the makings of a great coach. Players trusted him and had confidence in his ability to help them.
From the video room to the Hall of Fame one day.
No question.
Here's Jennings. No points so far. The kick out to Williams. Here's Jennings, guarded by Olynyk. Fires it. Williams misses.
Coaches loathe empty possessions. You got to be able to hit the easy ones.
Cunningham. It's good. And he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play opportunity.
First team foul.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. You know, Grant and Van Vliet, they've got a guy who's been through everything in this league.
Yeah, B.A. Van Vliet's seen it all. He's won a championship. He's been in the All-Star game. He's been on a last-place team. No wonder nothing seems to faze him.
Van Vliet against Birch. Now here's Van Vliet. Defense right on him. Over Birch. And again, no good by Detroit. Heat trail by 8. Inside. Here's Tucker. And slam dunk by Tucker.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Well, that's exactly what's needed when you're trying to turn things around.
Here's Van Vliet. Miami making their last shot. Shot clock at 5. Takes it inside. Sinks that one after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
Yeah, look at the strength from Van Vliet. Not the biggest, but wouldn't be denied.
And so it's Erik Spoelstra with the timeout here. He's going to talk it over with his guys. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Hibbert passes to the kid. And here in the second quarter of action, just a hair under 2.5 minutes played. 6 to shoot. King gets the bucket.
They didn't do themselves any favors with their shooting in the first quarter, but they're starting to pick it up now.
Pass to Turner. Back to Cunningham. Ooh, using his size. Look at Cunningham.
Cunningham showing his game extends above the rim.
Heat trail by 8. And about 3 minutes played now in the second quarter. Here's the kid. Here's Hibbert, defended by Dunn. Here's Birch. Birch. Tip back in for 2. Birch has gotten his first bucket of the night.
And they're in a better flow this quarter offensively. And their shooting percentage is steadily rising as a result.
And J.B. Bickerstaff decides to call timeout. He wants to review the game plan. Van Vliet's checked in for Detroit. Well, Stan, in this league, the opportunity always exists to make a name for yourself.
It certainly does, Brian. And guys that maybe haven't gotten their opportunity, if they're ready when they get it, then they're going to burst onto the scene, and they'll no longer be under the radar guys. Look at a guy like Jalen Brunson, second-round pick, bench guy in Dallas for a long time, and then now an all-star.
And he hits it and gets hacked. A three-point chance here if he can convert.
That was just great work to battle through contact and will in the shot.
The Pistons have had quite a few high lottery picks of late, Stan. However, they haven't had much success yet.
Well, Brian, you know, sometimes it takes a lot of time. Some teams will come together quicker. Some players and some teams need more time to develop. Detroit's just got to keep adding to what they have and continuing to develop the players that are already in their system.
And a great fan base in Detroit, starving for victories. Well, Coach, the Heat have had some deep playoff runs recently, making the finals twice in 5 years.
Yeah, Brian, and what's really interesting is that they've only been higher than a 5 seed once in that span. They just hit a different gear in the playoffs.
Detroit shooting their second attempt at the line tonight.
For the Pistons, Dunn, 1.
And the free throw, no good. And your first NBA coaching job was with the Miami Heat, Stan. That was as an assistant back in the 90s, just a few years ago.
Yeah, just a few, Brian. And the Heat have changed a lot. The game has changed a lot over those years. Look, back then, the Heat were probably the most physical team in the NBA, and it was just knockdown, drag-out fights all the time.
Well, Stan, for the Detroit Pistons, the rebuild continues.
Well, Brian, it's a process that almost every franchise has to go through at one time or another. You just hope players don't feel lost in the shuffle and they keep playing their best basketball.
That one's off. All right, Grant, I have to ask you, has there ever been a more intimidating team than the old bad boy Pistons?
Well, they weren't fancy, but they played hard and they played physical basketball. Every team that faced those Detroit teams knew they were in for a battle.
He hits the second from the line. And so it's Van Vliet with it. He brings it up for the Detroit Pistons. They've led by as much as 10. Dunn outside. Outside Vanderbilt. Fires for 3. The kid with a rebound.
One reason this game is so tight is because both teams are hitting the boards with reckless abandon.
Bridges against Williams. Junior outside. Pass to Gordon. Here's G. Just 5 to shoot. Gordon with it. Dunn in his pocket. Here's G. And the jumper from the wing offline. And there's the lob. Dunn outside. Sends it home from three-point land. Dunn's got 5. The clock runs out, and we are headed to halftime. Pistons ahead, up by 7. And we'll step away briefly, but get you right back out there for the start of the third quarter, right after the break.
Hello, everybody. The news is in. Players of the week have been named. Let's see who's hot. For the West, Nikola Jokic.
For the Joker, last laugh is typically on the opponent. No one has been able to slow him down lately. Also, on and off the court, his leadership has been great for this team.
Turning back now to our game, lots of positives in that first half for the Pistons.
They're doing a nice job of getting their feet wet in the paint.
Thanks for tuning in. Now we head back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
Well, for those just tuning in, thanks for being with us. Second half of this game still to play.